Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stay. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below, lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up, trying to find my luck. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. Wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter. Now just screams. Trying to climb back up the wall, but every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this. Reclaim the throne I start to miss. Claim the throne. Right now just lost in despair. Grasping for hope, it's nowhere. Where do I go from here? I can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up, I'm lost, trying to find my luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.
Where is my money? Tell me where. You wanna chit-chat, but I don't care. Can't be playing with my cash, no way. This disrespect can't be the play. Why you playing games with my cash? Owe me big, but you're acting rash. Said you pay me back today. Hey, now you're silent like it's all okay. Cash rules everything around me. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Dusty promises don't suit. Gotta get straight to the loot. See you styling in your new threads, spending freely while my wallet's dead. You think I won't come for my green, but I'm not backing down from this scene. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Dusty excuses won't get you far. Up in the club, buying out the bar. Time to face up, you owe a debt. Avoiding me won't let you forget. Ducking calls like a ghost in the night. Running scared, but I'm ready to fight. No more stalling, it's time to pay. Running out don't flee. Dusty promises don't sue. Dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loop, to the loop.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is. All right. Let's stop the show. Let's stop the show. We need to celebrate. We need to celebrate real quick. All right. So all we've had is the intro already to the show. Like, I haven't even said anything yet. And guess what? It's time to celebrate. We have a dislike already. I don't know what to say. I'm honored and thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to click the dislike button before I even said anything.
Let's get it.
But you might be right. You might be right to dislike this video. But it's all good. Anyways, let's get into the show. I am Techotroff. We are engineered to win. This is the Men Lie. Women also lie. But numbers, what do numbers do? Numbers manipulate. This is the weekly economic review. How does the weekly economic numbers mix in with our tech stuff? And we will be taking a look at the ultimate showdown yesterday that happened between President Donald Trump, Vice President JD Vance, and the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. It got feisty. It sure got feisty. So we're going to be taking a look at that today towards the end of the show. I was trying to find where exactly it got a little bit, because I watched it. I saw exactly where it got tense, but I was trying to find it in the clip that I have. Let me see, JD. If I can find this real quick. Yeah, it was here. But we'll watch it. We'll watch it later because it was intense. It was amazing. It was amazing to see, I must say. But we got work to do. We have work to do. We don't miss. We're here. We're going to be getting into, so the numbers that we're going to be looking into today is we have our conference board consumer confidence. We have our new home sales for the month of January 2025. We have our durable goods orders for January 2025, GDP for the fourth quarter. I'm skipping the initial jobless claims, like going into detail with that. And we have our personal consumption expenditure price index as well for today. So those are the main things we're going to be looking at today. And then we're going to spend the rest of the show taking a look and giving some feedback and commentary on what took place in the Oval Office yesterday between President Trump, Vice President JD Vance, and the President of Ukraine, the current President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. All right, I say current because at this point I don't know how long that's going to be, but we shall see. And I found it very, very interesting, the media response to what all went down. But hey, I'm here for it. We are here for it. We're going to have a lot of fun this morning. All right. Before we get into the work, quick announcements. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
Including that one delinquent who disliked the video before I even said anything.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Hey, but nonetheless, I thank you for clicking on the video and for actually interacting with the show. So thank you so much. Do me a big favor. Let me just drop this in the chat real quick. My cousin is collecting data on traumatic brain injuries, and she created a questionnaire, and she would like if you guys can fill it out, give her some data. She was in an accident last year. She suffered a traumatic brain injury, and she noticed that not a lot of information about how to deal with it, and how for the person suffering from one to deal with it, and for the family members and relatives and friends who have somebody who has had a traumatic brain injury to deal with it as well. So she created a questionnaire, and I'm going to drop it in the chat. If you guys could be so kind to fill it out, and then we will go from there. So I just dropped it in the chat. If you have some time, please. Mitch said it takes 3 to 5 minutes to fill out. Very, very helpful as she collects data to put out some content on helping those who have suffered and helping the family and friends of those who are suffering from traumatic brain injuries as well. All right. Lastly, we're going live tomorrow where we're going to be more into DevOps, Kubernetes, still working on deploying our urban dictionary of economic data. We had a vote last week, and everybody said, you know what? Let's not move on after that. Let's go and deploy to AWS and let's deploy to Microsoft Azure. So we'll be getting to that eventually as well. And then today, inside of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, I'm going to be in a Google Meet for about an hour to offer some help with Python for those who are learning Python and they might be getting stuck. I will be it'll be a Google Meet. The link for the meet is in the Patreon as well as in the Discord, because you can only be in the Discord if you're in the Patreon. It just takes you right into it. So that's techcoachralph.dev if you want to join, if you want to participate in all the events that we're having there. That is the plan to do. All right. Next up, I really want to see if I can find this. Next up, let's go ahead and, I'll describe it. But next up, let me check the chat and then I'll describe what we're going to be. I'm going to describe the moment that things went south yesterday, and then at the end of the show we'll watch the video, and I'll skip around to certain parts of it to see what's going on, right? But let me check the chat. Let me say hello to all of my friends. We have the one, the only, early in the building, Roxy, Rock the Scrubs. Roxy in the building says, good morning, Tech Coach Ralph. Good morning to you as well, Roxy. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you are achieving and accomplishing all the goals that you have set forth. Let's see who else that we have. We have the one, my best friend.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mitch in the building says it just gets to a point. It just gets to a point. I understand. I hear you, Mitch. I hear you. I know that you just can't help yourself to say how much you appreciate me and the channel and all the good work that we're doing. So shout out to you. And Mitch says it was me that disliked the video. Oh my goodness. Mitch, do you remember in the movie Liar Liar when he was on the elevator and everybody was looking around like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Because somebody had just laid one in the elevator, and then when he gets out of it, he turns around and he says, "It was me." That's what you just reminded me of. I'm just saying. Let's Rock. Thank you, Roxy. Come on, Mitch. Come on, man. Come on, man. We have Miss Freckles in the building. Says, what's up to Roxy, to Tech Coach Ralph. Happy Saturday to you as well, Miss Freckles. And Miss Freckles, I'll share this, right? This morning, I was overly tired than I normally am in the morning. And you know what? I was so tired. Like I woke up, did my regular morning routine, did my stretching and my workout, and went to the sauna. And then after the sauna, I was like, man, I'm kind of tired. And you know what I thought? I reflected back on that. I was like, you know what? That means that we had a very, very successful week. I know you were out of it yesterday, Miss Freckles. That means you worked hard and you got out there and you did it. And I said, you know what? Let me take about 30 minutes before the show, get some rest, and I'm like, all right, I'm back at it again. I got my shots here. I got my water here. I'm like, I'm good to go. Let's go out there and let's get it. All right. Let's see what else. You guys tell him. You guys tell Mitch that it. So. All right. You see, Mitch. We gotta be fair, Mitch. How does Roxy just get a hey? And Miss Freckles gets a hey chump. Mitch, terrible. Let's see. Roxy says lip balm galore. What? You talking about me? You talking about me, Roxy? I tell you. Let's see. What else we got? Mitch says, tired. Are you bragging or complaining? Mitch, I do not brag. I do not complain. I'm just honest.
I'm just being honest.
I'm just being honest. Let's see. Rex says, annoying. Says, I didn't hear about the Oval Office shutdown. Shutdown? No, it was not a shutdown, Mitch. It was a showdown. It was a showdown. It got real tense in there. It got fun. It got fun. For me, I was here for it. And Mr. Circle says, I'm starting to get used to no sleep. Well, welcome to the family. And he says, they said that you are ugly. Put on Vaseline. Oh my God. You know what, Mitch? If I had feelings, they would be hurt right now.
Bruh. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Well, with that being said, I guess we might as well get started with the show. You know, after they try to destroy your guy Techo Tribe, you know, I'm telling you, like, Mitch, like, they'll love you on Monday, and then on Saturday they be like, who is you? Who is you? I'm telling you. All right, let's get going. So, let's go over to, why am I on this screen? I was supposed to be on this screen. All right, let's get going. So let's go over to our weekly economics review. We are going to jump over to our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. Actually, before I do that, I do want to talk about an email that I got real quick. You guys remember Trebek? You guys probably don't remember Trebek, but Trebek tapped in with us last week on our Sunday show, and he was asking about, like, what is this deploying economic data? Or actually, it was like maybe the Sunday before that. And I explained to him what we were doing, and he said, "Oh wow, that's really cool." And I said, "All right, email me, because he's an economist." And I'm like, "Oh, email me." So Trebek emailed me, right? And in the email, Trebek said, let me see if I can find it. He said, oh, there it goes. So in the email, he said that would love to discuss a collaborative project with you that could be both useful to the both of us and to my audience, you guys out there, right? It says essentially, I envision a bot or a tool that can take Excel sheets or APIs whenever available with economic data and store it in a database. Then we can use these time series data to do analysis such as regression, autocorrection models, and some other stuff, right? And I'm like, this is cool. I don't understand about half of it, but I think that is a great opportunity for me, for the Tech Barbarians, for Trebek, for my Patreon members to work on this, because it sounds very, very useful. And I shared it with the Wealth Building Journey as well. Shout out to the Wealth Building Journey here. I shared it with him, and he's like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Trebek to follow up. And I am going to put one of my Tech Barbarians or my Tech Prodigy members to take the lead on the project so that we can see how we can start building it, where we're going to get our data from, and implement. So I am thinking about taking this project on. That is my thoughts. That is my plan. If there is anybody who would be interested in being involved in this project, who is a Patreon member, then let me know and we can see how we can work that out. But one thing about me, when I take on a project, we work. I know you guys say you need experience, whether it's QA experience, whether it's software development, whatever it is, Python experience. But when I'm working, when it's work time, I'm not as nice as you see me here on YouTube, which I guess I'm not that nice on YouTube anyways, but I'm a worker, right? So if you're afraid, if you scared about saying, okay, what are the 5 things you accomplished last week? Then this project might not be for you. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, let's get into our economic review. So I didn't even put the timer. I didn't even put the timer. Let's put up our timer up. We have 90 minutes. All right. So let me go ahead and put up our timer. Our timer's up. Let's go to our economic dictionary. All right. So like I said, we have this week consumer conference boards, consumer confidence. We have the new home sales for January. We have durable goods report. We have the GDP for the fourth quarter. I'm gonna lightly touch on. I'm not even gonna go into the initial jobless claims because we have a lot to cover, and I want to get to our White House showdown, not shutdown, but White House showdown between the president of Ukraine versus the president and vice president of the United States of America. All right. And then we have the PCE price index. All right. So let's get started. While I'm getting started with this, do me a favor, because we're gonna need an example of we're gonna do one example per category to keep the show moving. So you can just start dropping examples in the chat, and I will use that for our examples for the consumer confidence, for the new home sales, for the durable goods, for the GDP, and for the PCE price index. All right, and we'll just do one each. All right, so let's get started. Let's go to search for our consumer confidence and consumer confidence survey. Let's click on that one. The Consumer Confidence Survey is brought to us by the Conference Board. And it says the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Survey is like a big poll to see how confident people feel about the economy. Every month, a group of people across the United States answer questions about how things are going in their lives financially and what they expect to happen in the future. They answer questions like, do you think jobs are easy or hard to find? Are you making more or less money than before? Do you think things will get better or worse in the next few months? And from their answers, we get two main scores. The Present Situation Index, the PSI. This score tells us how people feel about the economy right now. And the Expectations Index. This score is based on how people feel about the future economy. These scores help businesses and government make decisions. For example, if a lot of people are worried about the future, businesses might not spend as much money on new projects. The survey acts like a mood check on the economy, helping everyone understand how Americans feel about spending money, finding jobs, and saving for the future. All right. Let's go to, so first example, let's see, what can we search for? Let's say let's see. What is let's see. Let's go with I'm going to go for, say, an economist. No, I don't want to go to economist. Let's go with a car salesman. Let's do a car salesman. So, how does consumer confidence affect a car salesman? I think consumer confidence can affect a car salesman a lot. All right. So it says that high confidence levels. Imagine that the latest consumer confidence survey shows that consumer confidence is high. This means people feel good about their jobs, household incomes, and the economy overall. As a result, they're more willing to spend money on big ticket items such as cars. Impact on car salesmen. In this scenario, a car salesman might see an increase in customers visiting the dealership. People are excited to buy new cars, and they might be more open to upgrading or purchasing higher end models. The salesman can take advantage of this by promoting deals and showcasing the benefits of buying now. If the confidence is low, let's say the survey indicates that low consumer confidence, people are worried about the economy or their financial situations. This might make them hesitant to make significant purchases. So how does this impact a car salesman? In this case, the car salesman might notice fewer customers coming in. Those who do visit may be looking for budget-friendly options or might delay their purchase altogether. The salesman might need to adjust his strategies, like offering special financing deals or promoting features that highlight savings on fuel or maintenance. So in summary, high consumer confidence usually leads to more sales and higher prices as buyers are willing to spend. Low consumer confidence tends to mean fewer sales and price sensitivity as buyers are more cautious. All right. And based on that, that's how the salesman might approach their customers and stuff like that. All right. Let's go and take a look at the report for consumer confidence. And it says that consumer confidence dropped sharply. Consumer confidence dropped sharply in February. Let me pull this up as well. Let's go into that. All right. So, and this was on Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Pessimism about the future has returned. So the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index declined by 7 points in February to 98.3. And the average, so based on 1985, the 100 is the metric. There's the Present Situation Index based on consumer assessment of current business and labor market conditions fell 3.4 points to 136.5. The Expectation Index based on consumers' short-term outlook for income, business, and labor market conditions dropped 9.3 points to 72.9 for the first time since June of 2024. The Expectations Index was below the threshold of 80 that usually signals a recession ahead. The cutoff date for preliminary results was February 19th, 2025. It says in February, consumer confidence registered the largest monthly decline since August of 2021, said Stephanie Gouchard, senior economist, global indicators at the Conference Board. This is the third consecutive month decline, bringing the index to the bottom of the range that has prevailed since 2022. Of the 5 components of the index, only consumers' assessment of present business conditions improved a bit slightly. Views of current labor market conditions weakened. Consumers became pessimistic about future business conditions and less optimistic about future income. Pessimism about future employment prospects worsened and reached a 10-month high. February's fall in confidence was sharply across all age groups, but was deepest for consumers between... what's going on here? Okay. But was deepest with... let me see. Where was I? Was deepest between for consumers between 35 and 55 years old. The decline was also broad-based among income groups, with the only exception among households earning less than $15,000 a year and between $100,000 and $125,000 per year. All right, so consumer confidence drops. Says Gouchard added, average 12-month inflation expectations surged from 5.2% to 6% in February. This increase likely reflected a mix of factors, including sticky inflation, but also the recent jump in prices of key household staples like eggs and the expected impact of tariffs. References to inflation and prices in general continue to rank high in write-in responses, but the focus shifted towards other topics. There was a sharp increase in mentions of trade and tariffs back to levels unseen since 2019. Maybe if we're not giving away $350 billion, maybe that might change. I don't know. Most notably, comments on the current administration and its policies dominated the responses. Consumers' view of their family's current and future financial situations were less positive, retreating from the series highs reached in January. The proportion of consumers anticipating a recession over the next 12 months increased to a 9-month high. These measures are not included in calculating the Consumer Confidence Index. Consumers bullish about stock market also retreated. Only 46.8% of consumers expected stock prices to increase over the year ahead, the smallest share since April of 2024, and down from 54.2% in January. By contrast, 32.8% expected stock prices to decline, up from 28.4% in January. More than half, 51.7% of consumers expected higher interest rates over the next 12 months. The share of consumers expecting lower interest rates dropped further to 24% from 27.1% last month. It says on a 6-month moving average, purchasing plans for homes continued to recover. likely supported by the very recent decline in mortgage rates. On the other hand, buying plans for cars and big ticket items were down, with notable declines for TVs and electronics. Consumers' overall intentions to purchase additional services in the month ahead were changed a little, but their priorities shifted slightly. Personal and healthcare, as well as movies and live entertainment, moved up the priority list as the expense of streaming and travel. Vacation plans continued to trend downwards. Let's see. Consumer assessment. Present situation. Consumer assessment of the current business conditions improved slightly in February. 19.6% of consumers said business conditions were good, up from 18.5% in January. That's good. 15.7% said business conditions were bad, up from 15.2% in January as well. And it says consumers' view of labor markets were less positive in February. 33.4% of consumers said jobs were plentiful, down from 33.9% in January. That's not that big of a jump. And 16.3% said jobs were hard to get, up from 14.5%. That is a big jump. So from 14.5 to 16.3, that's a big jump. But from 33.9 to 33.4, that's not that big of a jump. Expectations 6 months hence says consumers' outlook for business conditions turned negative in February. 20.2% of consumers expected business conditions to improve, down from 20.8% in January. 26.7% expected business conditions to worsen, up from 19.6%. Consumers' pessimism about the labor market outward worsened. 18.4% of consumers expected more jobs to be available, down from 19.1% in January, and 25.9% anticipated fewer jobs, up from 21% in January. And says consumers were less optimistic about their income prospects for February. 18.2% of consumers expected their income to increase, a slight uptick from 18.1% in January. But 13.7% expected their incomes to decrease, up from 12.3%. That's so people think that their money is going down. Well, time to step up. Let's see. And that is it. That is it for the conference board. But I do want to check this video real quick that is going to talk about consumer confidence. This is for the new home sales. All right, let me get the right video. We are here. All right, so let's take a quick look at this video about consumer confidence to see what the professionals think about it.
Yeah, markets are pretty smart. The stock market going down. Headline confidence coming in at 98.3. That's February from the conference board. We're expecting a number over 102. Sequentially significantly lower than 105.3 in the rearview mirror. And it is the lightest level going back to June of last year. Now, if we look at present situation, a bit of a different story. At 136.5, it's a little better than expected, and it's better than what was in the rearview mirror. But we see a revision. Last month moves from 134 and change to 139.9. So once again, it becomes sequentially lower. If we look at what lies ahead in form of expectations, 82.2 in the rearview mirror, which makes 72.9 the weakest level since June of 24. Now, Richmond Fed, the manufacturing index, I thought we'd be looking at 16 consecutive negative months in a row. Not to be. We got a positive number here. Moves up to 6. That's the best level going back to, wow, April of 22. And if we look at Richmond Fed business conditions or the service side, positive one, a bit of a disappointment, but it is the 4th consecutive positive number in a row. We see that the stock market, of course, moving lower on this, interest rates moving lower, and we could say that the slowing economy is the reason for interest rates moving down, but many are saying it's a flight to safety, a safe harbor trade, which is really ironic because if uncertainty is the reason the equity markets are moving lower, why should there be any less uncertainty in the future of treasuries, the types of issuance, or the debt? So, at least at this point, the old rules on treasuries seem to be working. Whenever there's nervousness ongoing in equities, seems like the best hedge is buying treasuries. Sarah, back to you.
Okay, Rick. Thank you very much. Rick Santelli.
there we have it. So let's put a bow on the consumer confidence for the week. All right, so let me check the chat, and then I will give a quick breakdown of what I saw happen yesterday before we actually get to the video later on. Let me see. All right, so but first, let me say hello to my guy, the Wealth Building Journey. See, it's always something has to happen, right? Let's go, and there we go. What's up? What's up, the Wealth Building Journey? Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully all is good with you. Let's see. And Mitch says it's true. They like you on Monday, and they hate you on Monday night. The struggle is real, Mitch. The struggle is real. And Roxy says, "You is who?" I'm telling you, who is you? Who is you? You is who? Let's see. We got, so Mitch said, not Mitch, the Wealth Building Journey, let me make this bigger, says, "Good morning, federal workers. List 15 accomplishments you achieved last week. No, yesterday, or else you will be fired immediately. Sincerely, OPM." I thought it was 5, by the way. I thought it was 5. But guess what? The Wealth Building Journey, I've been having to list my accomplishments every other week for my entire life. All right. So I'm with it. Roxy says, shaking her head. Mitch says, sad to say, I think it will get a bit more worse before there is a correction. Possibly. Let's see. So it says, so I guess I won't be looking for anything on USA Jobs anytime soon. You are going to make Magnetar's head explode. You're lucky he's not here, because he would start going crazy. And Roxy says she is a proud, hardworking federal nurse. Shout out to you. But you know what, Roxy? I also think that if you were a private sector nurse, you would also be a proud, hardworking private sector nurse as well. Because I think that whatever hospital that you're in, you would be doing an amazing job, because that's the type of person that you are. So I'm just gonna say this. You are a proud. I'm gonna correct it for you. You're just a proud, hardworking nurse. Period. Whether you're for the feds, whether you're for some other company where you could probably be making like 3 times as much as you're making now. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say to that. All right. Let's see. Ms. Freckles says, I'll be staying put too. Look, you guys need to leave this fearful mentality of, I'm just going to stay cradled down in this little corner, because guess what? At some point, everybody's got to go. So I always say, you always have to keep your eyes open, keep your head on the swivel, see what opportunities are out there for you, and be open to everything. Don't be in this little cocoon of a job like, oh, look, I'm safe here. Nobody is ever safe. Nobody is ever safe. If you think you're safe, then you are sadly mistaken. Ms. Hooker says that nurses are always needed. That is true. Nurses are always needed, and in many different places. All right. Let's see. Ms. Hooker says, yikes. Pessimism is contagious. That is true. And the Wealth Building Journey says, these were some ugly economic numbers this past week. Not ugly, but ugly. Mr. says, oh, that's ugly. And Mitch says, I doubt TV sales went down, that he as well is sick. You know, Mitch, they say the first thing is being able to admit that you have a problem. So that's good. The Wealth Builder says, I caught the replay on the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels, and I was like, this is not real. It was real. The Wealth Building Journey, and I loved it. I must say. We have, oh my God, we have Peter Investor in the building. What's up, Peter Investor? How are you doing? So good to see you here as always. Hopefully everything is going well with you in your life and your family. All right, so there we have it. All right, so let me give this. Let me tell you what I saw yesterday, and you guys let me know if you agree or disagree. Right? Everything went south. Everything went south after Vice President JD Vance said something about I forgot exactly what he said. We'll watch it, right? But he said something about like we're trying to make peace or something like that. So he was basically saying the previous administration, they wanted to fight, and look where fighting has gotten you, right? And we're trying to make peace, and that's our goal. And now Zelenskyy in his long sleeve T-shirt and his what do you call those? I forgot the name of those. Not military, like. Anyway, the 911s and his 911 pants, right? He was, I think that's the brand 911, right? And he's like, JD. First he starts out JD, right? And he didn't say with all due respect, right? You guys know. I always tell you guys say not. They weren't fatigues though. They were like. They have these special pants for like concealed carry, right? For like people who are in law enforcement and stuff like that. So he's wearing his law enforcement outfit, right? Like, I heard he's an actor. I don't know, but he's like JD, and I'm like, okay, this is not gonna go well. And he did not say with all due respect, right? You guys know how I feel about saying with all due respect. He's like, JD, what do you know about? He said, what do you know about diplomacy? I was like, what? That's about to go south. I said, all right, well. If you at least said with all due respect, and then you said, JD, what do you know about diplomacy? Okay, then you have a fighting chance. But he came into their house, and which is essentially our house, and he's like, first he came in to the theme song of "Where's My Money," and then he's like, what do you know about diplomacy? And I was like, uh-oh. That escalated quickly. That escalated quickly. Right? So that's what I saw things go south. And then he's like, when have you ever been to Ukraine? I was like, oh my God. Do you really want to do this right now? Anyways, we'll get into the video. Later. Let's continue on the show. But that's where I said that, because when President Trump was talking, it was like he just was listening. JD Vance says, "Oh, I want to say something," right? And like, okay, and JD Vance speaks, and he's like, "Well, JD," I'm like, "Oh shoot," I'm like, "Ah shucks, it's not gonna end well for you." Look, I give JD, I give Vice President JD Vance and President Trump a lot of credit, because I would have been like, who are you talking to? I'm just saying, but that's why I just have this channel on YouTube, and I am not a diplomat. Although I did get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you should run for Congress. I was like, who, me? Nah, that ain't happening. All right. Let's get to our next topic. But I just wanted to set the premise, the foundation of what I saw happen yesterday and why I loved every last bit of it. All right. Look, only with this president do we get this type of good stuff. All right. Let's go. Let's continue. So, let's go back to our dictionary. Next up, we have new home sales. All right, so let's look up some new home sales, and I'll check the chat. After we're done with new home sales to see. Let me see. Where is the new home sales? Monthly new residential home sales report. That is brought to us by the Census Bureau, I believe. Let me make sure that's the right one we're looking at. Yep, that's the one by the Census Bureau. So, drop me in the chat. Any particular role that you would like me to look up for our example for the new home sales report. But yeah, let's take a look. So it says the U.S. Census Bureau. So this is brought to us by the Census Bureau, right? Our monthly new residential sales report says the U.S. Census Bureau releases a monthly report called the Monthly Residential Sales Report, MRSR, as part of the Current Population Survey, CPS. The MRSR provides a comprehensive overview of new single-family home sales in the United States. The report includes data on new single-family home sales, number of new home sales sold by region, seasonally adjusted sales volume and dollar value, price per square foot. Additionally, the Census Bureau also releases an annual report called New Residential Sales Report, NRSR, which provides a detailed analysis of single-family home sales data from the previous year. The monthly residential sales report is released around the 25th of each month and is available on the Census Bureau's website. If you're interested in accessing it, yeah, all right, cool. All right, so the example we're gonna use, you know what, Welcome Journey? I like that example, right? But I'm gonna modify it a little bit, right? I'm gonna modify it just a little bit. Bear with me, right? The Welcome Journey, because I think Mitch will like it as well. All right. I'm going to say a Instagram model realtor, right? Because I know you guys see those Instagram models who are also a realtor, right? So they will take they'll go to a home that they're trying to sell, and they'll do a little pose in the home to try to get people to buy the house from them, right? So Instagram model realtor. And I mean, honestly, when you think about it, that's a good play, right? Because you're like, well, I can get some views, I can get some likes, I can get some followers, and potentially I can get somebody to buy the house, right? So I'm just saying. You want an IG? All right, IG model baddie realtor. There you go. There, just for you, Wealth Building Journey. I'll put IG model baddie realtor. Let's see what our AI has to say about that. So let's see how this goes. Brace yourselves. Let's see how this goes. All right. So it says this information can be very impactful for an Instagram model baddie realtor in several ways, right? It says market trends awareness. By keeping an eye on this report, the realtor can understand whether the housing market is hot, lots of sales, or cold, fewer sales. If sales are high, it might be a good time to showcase more listings on Instagram because buyers are actively looking. Targeted content. If the report shows that certain neighborhoods or types of homes like condos or single family homes are selling well, she can create content that highlights that area or property types. For instance, she could post stylish images and videos of the home in those hot neighborhoods and write engaging captions about their great places to buy. Check out this amazing home at this location. It is a 6-bedroom. Yes, I said 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a full kitchen with a island. And check out this pose on the island. I'm just saying that's how it's gonna go, right? Is that how it's gonna go? Is that how it's gonna go? I'm curious. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Right? That's how I see that. That's how I would write the content. That is how I would write the content. All right. It says client engagement. Understanding the report allows her to inform potential. All right. Stop. I'm offended. I am offended. Right. I said in Instagram model baddie realtor, right? Why does, see, and this is the bias that we talk about in AI. This is the bias that we talk about in AI, right? Why does AI automatically assume that the Instagram model baddie is a she, right? Couldn't I be that realtor? Like, come on. Couldn't I be that realtor? I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
Why couldn't it be me? Why couldn't it be a he? Why it has to be she can create Instagram stories and post educating her audience about what's happening in real estate. This builds trust and positions her positions her as an expert in the field. I'm just saying, why can't it be me? I'm just saying. Timing for purchases. When she knows that home sales are going up, she can advise her clients to act quickly. Come in for this. Let me not say it. For buyers, this could mean encouraging them to put an offer in before prices go even higher. The price of the brick might be going up. For sellers, it might be the perfect time to list their homes. Branding and positioning. By sharing insights and statistics from this report, she can elevate her personal brand using stylish infographics. She can, or videos, she can present the data in a visually appealing way that aligns with her Instagram aesthetics. Making her content both beautiful and informative. I hear you. It says, in summary, the monthly new residential sales report equips the realtor with important information that can help her, again with the her, okay, fair enough, create relevant content, connect with clients, and ultimately boost her sales and her subscriptions, all while her Instagram page is looking fabulous. All right, I'm just saying. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and check out these numbers. All right, so it says the new houses sold were 657,000, new houses for sale 495,000, and the median sales price 446. The next release is going to be March 25th, 2025. Let's take a quick look at what is going on. All right, so it says sales of new single-family houses in January 2025 were at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 657,000, according to estimates released jointly today by the U.S. Census Bureau and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. This is 10.5% below the revised December rate of 734,000. And is 1.1%. Below January 2024 estimates of 664,000. The median sales price of new homes sold in January 2025 was 446,000. The average sales price was 510,000. It says for sales inventory and month supply, the seasonally adjusted estimate of new houses for sales at the end of January 495,000. This represents a supply of 9 months at the current sales rate. So that is our new home sales for January 2025. That's about it. So it looks like our IG model baddie realtor had to work a little bit harder in January to get those sales numbers up and those subscriptions up. I'm just saying.
Bruh.
All right. Let's wrap that one up. And let's go back to full screen. All right. Let me see what we got in the chat, because are you guys being mischievous in the chat today? Are you guys or is it me? It might totally be me. It might be me. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Mitch said, facts, I agree. Too many people are losing jobs. I guess you're right. The weekly initial jobless claims was a lot higher than last week and than expected. So fair enough. But guess what? We'll see what happens. And Mitch says that I am sick for saying let's look for the IG model baddie realtor. I agree. Let's see. Mitch says they do their OnlyFriends content in there. Wow. Wowzers. Let's see. Roxy says OnlyFans fan in the house. What? Wait a sec. As my best friend Mitch would say, wait, I'm confused. Who is the OnlyFans fan in the house? I'm lost. The world winner says, interesting how it automatically defaulted to she, her. You caught that too? I didn't even see when you said this, but I noticed. I'm like, whoa, slow that down. Why couldn't I be the IG model baddie realtor? I mean, I'm not a realtor, so that might be it. But I mean, it could have been me. So I'm slightly offended by all this by this turn of events. You know, I'm gonna have to report the AI for bias here. Okay, and which is only friends, and as he rightly says, no free promo. Let's see what else we got. The one picture says apparently now it's only homes. There we go. Only homes was good. It was good. I must say. And Mitch says Ralph got one. That's why he is mad. See, Mitch, I told you that in confidence. Why do you do this to me, Mitch? I tell you these things in confidence, and then you go and you just share it out with the world on YouTube. My God. Next week, the video of me firing the AI bot because of the fight that Mitch and me and Roxy and the AI clone had. It's gonna be released, and we're gonna see how it all went down. How Roxy survived, Mitch survived, but for the AI clone,
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Miss Freckles says IG battle realtor. I mean, look, Miss Freckles. Everyone here knows we be seeing these realtor models all over these panels. All right, I ain't lying. You know that we be seeing these IG model realtors all over these panels. All right. Which says act quickly. I'll say it. Look at this balcony. Look what you can do on it. Whoa, Mitch, you're sick. You are sick, Mitch. My goodness, Mitch. You remember Step Brothers? There's so much room for activities. There is so much room for activities. What the one villager says, I'm gonna stop searching for the IG handle. Only homes. Oh my goodness. And Roxy, you're correct. Rod Brown needed to pray over this bunch. That I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with that.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, I agree. It is me. I totally agree with that. All right. Mitch already said it's me. You don't have to agree and back it up. All right. Calling for a friend here. Anybody here on my side? Anybody here on my side? Mitch says, I'm confused. And Chris Park says, not firing look. The bot made some very, very serious accusations and allegations against me here, and I was not having none of that. I said, you You have got to go. You have got to go. You are banished. You're banished. You are not welcome here anymore. So that's what happened with me and my clone, right? We had it out. Like, I think yesterday I had a video of we were fighting over something, and then it kept escalating to making these very, very wild and egregious accusations against me and my intentions. And I was like, nope, it's over. It is over. Get out of here, right? And it says he definitely hates that clone now. It was serious. Like, you're Mitch. You were the catalyst. You were the catalyst, Mitch. You see, and this is why I say, right, you got to pick your battles, because I jumped into a fight that I shouldn't have been in, and then the AI and then I got charged by the AI clone. I got intentions placed on me, and I was like, I was like, you know what, you know what, clone?
How dare you?
I tell you. Let's see. The one says this is wild. And Roxy says dumb. You saw that yesterday on the video yesterday, Roxy? The clone was like, I'm not calling you dumb or numb. I was like, where did numb come from? I'm like, first you call me dumb, and now you're adding insults to injury. You're calling me numb as well. Ooh, I tell you. I'm telling you that clone took on the spirit of Ferris. All right, that clone took on the spirit of Ferris. I tell you, I don't know what happened with that clone. Anyways, let's continue. Let's see. I kind of understand why you guys are so terrified of these robots, because I saw what the clone did. All right, let's continue, because we do have to get to this White House thing, because that is so much fun. Let's see. Let's go to Miss Freckle says, how to argue with something that's made up. Well, Ms. Freckles, not to throw you under the bus, with all due respect. So now that I say with all due respect, I can say whatever I want. Ms. Freckles, if you were here with us at the time that the clone was around, you would have saw how feisty the clone used to get, and how we used to get into heated debates. Me and my clone used to get into heated debates, because my clone thought, just because it was trained on me, right, that it was smarter than me. And it thought it was nicer than me, which, okay, fine. It was nice. It was way more than nicer than me. I'll give it that, right? But it tried to get into one-on-ones with me, and I was like, hold up. I said, you know what I told the clone? I told the clone.
You should know your role and shut your mouth.
And
It doesn't matter what you think.
that's what I said. That's how it was. That's how it was. And Roxy says he's spicy. Bring him back. Nope. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. And Ms. Freckle says, offense taken. Look, Ms. Freckle, I did say with all due respect, right, and respectfully. So you can't take offense. It's impossible for you to take offense, because I said with all due respect and respectfully, right? So if I say those, then you cannot take offense. It's just the law of the world, right? If someone says with all due respect, then you can't take offense, So after you say with all due respect and respectfully, you can say whatever you want after that, right? So you can't take offense. It's just the law. It's just the way that the world works, right? It says that was disrespect. Shots fired. Oh my God! It says you hit the clone with the know your role and shut your mouth. Says no, that doesn't negate the disrespect. What? Didn't you see Talladega Nights? Ricky Bobby said, after you say, with all due respect, you can say whatever you want after that. So that's what I've been living by for the past 10 years, or past 20 years. Because I think that movie came out in 2006-ish. All right. Anyways, I've been saying we're going to move on for a while. Let's move on. Let's go to here. And we're going to talk about the durable goods sales. All right. So January, we have durable goods. Let's take a look at what the durable goods are. Drop me an example in the chat of what we should pull up for our durable goods. All right, so U.S. Census Bureau. The U.S. Census Bureau is busy this week, so they had their report on durable goods. So the report on durable goods. So what are durable goods? Those are big, expensive things that people buy and expect to last a long time, like cars, refrigerators. Let me switch screen. Full screen. Refrigerators, airplanes, furniture. When people or companies order more of these things, it usually means they feel confident about the future because they're spending money on items that will last for years. What does the report tell us? If orders are increasing, it means businesses and people are spending more, which is usually a good thing, a good sign that the economy is doing well. If orders are decreasing, it could mean people are and companies are being careful with their money, which can suggest the economy is slowing down. Why is this report important? It says this report helps business owners and government leaders understand how healthy the economy is. If orders are up, companies might hire more workers to build these products. If orders are down, they might slow down hiring. All right. So let's see. So we got some examples of what durable goods are, like water heater, dryer, generator, AC unit. So if we say, I have a good one. What about for a career, job, occupation? What about, because all these things that you guys are listing, you can get it from Home Depot. So what about if we say we'll go with Lowe's. You guys know Lowe's? Lowe's, what position at Lowe's? We'll say the Lowe's, you have one in the chat? All right, let me check what the World Journey said. So, okay, the World Journey says a completely made up raw industrial technology. Let's look at that. Industrial technologist. Thank you, World Willing Journey. Let's see. All right. So, what is durable goods? Say for an industrial technologist. Why are you giving me the same thing over? All right. So, impact on an industrial technologist. An industrial technologist focuses on improving processes and systems in manufacturing and production. Here's how the census report might impact their work. Market demand and understanding. If the report shows a significant increase in orders for a specific type of machinery, let's say a robotic arm, it indicates that manufacturers are planning to ramp up their production. An industrial technologist would take this as a signal to assess existing processes and consider upgrades or improvements to meet the increased demand. Investment decisions. If the report suggests that durable good orders are declining, an industrial technologist might advise their company to hold off on investing in new equipment or technologies. Alternatively, if there is growth, they might recommend investing in new technologies to enhance the productivity. Process optimization. By analyzing the trends in the report, an industrial technologist can identify opportunities for innovation. For example, if there's a rise in demand for energy efficient appliances, they might focus on developing processes that reduce energy consumption in manufacturing, which could lead to both cost savings and competitive edge. Supply chain management. Knowing what goods are in demand can help in managing the supply chain better. Industrial technologists can work with suppliers to ensure that materials are available when needed, reducing delays and improving efficiency. This completely made up role has a lot of responsibilities, I must say. All right. Anyways, let's go over to the Census Bureau report. Says monthly advance report on durable goods manufacturer shipments, inventories, and orders. The December of 2024 was negative 1.8%, and January 2025 is 3.1%. Oh my God. Rod Brown was summoned, and he is now here. If you guys need a prayer from Rod Brown, I'll bring him up so he can pray for the rest of this stream, because it's gonna get worse. It is gonna get worse, right? Because once we get into this Oval Office showdown, it's going to get crazy. All right, let's see. It says new orders for manufactured durable goods in January following 2 consecutive monthly decreases, increased 8.7 billion or 3.1% to 286 billion. The U.S. Census Bureau announced today. This followed a 1.8% December decrease. Excluding transportation, new orders were virtually unchanged. Excluding defense, new orders increased 3.5%. Transportation equipment also up following 2 consecutive monthly decreases, led the increase 8.6 billion or 9.8% to 96.5 billion. That is our monthly durable report. I think I might have a video on this. Let me check if I have a video for this. Let's go over to, and we're gonna go to, do I have a, I don't think I have a report. I don't think I have something for this actually. Let me double check. Nope, no video for this one. So that's it for this one. All right, let's go back to the chat. Where are we here? All right, so let me see what we got in the chat. We got my guy in the building. Rod Brown is here. Rod Brown says, morning, everyone. Good morning to you as well, Rod Brown. All right, let me check the chat. Let's see. So, let's see. Miss Vrego says, blah, blah, blah. Little baby Jesus, help me. I'm telling. And the World Majority says, Talladega Nights was interesting. And so we did the industrial technologist. Roxy says water heater, dryer for Mitch, generator for Roxy, AC unit for Mitch. Those are all examples of durable goods. Mitch says Lowe's and Hope Depot are sick. They are usually next to each other. Kind of like McDonald's and Burger King, right? And Walgreens when they existed, and CVS. And Mitch meant home, but it sounded so good for Hope. And and the World Majority says, get out of here. The AI determined that's a real role. Hey. The AI knows more than us, all right? And Roxy says, Hope Depot sounds like a church. You know what type of church it sounds? All right. Okay, see, this is why we need Rod Brown here this morning. This is the type of church that it sounds like, all right? So where I live, right, we have a turnpike that is separating the, and I used to live right on the turnpike, right on the edge, right? But we have a turnpike that is celebrating the nicer parts of the area versus the not so nice parts of the area, right? And when you cross the other side, right, for some reason, there is like a shopping plaza with like 10 churches there. And I'm pretty sure one of those churches are called Hope Depot. It's like 10 of them. They're like 1, 2, 3, all in the same little shopping plaza. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think the seventh one in the list is called Hope Depot. I'm just saying, Roxy. The says, I literally made that up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought you made it up, but AI was like, nope. Let's see. Mitch says to Rod Brown, no pressure. We need a prayer coming from me. And Rod Brown says, what did I walk into? All right, so this is what happened. All right, we were looking for the impact of the new home sales, and I needed a group, right? So the wealth building journey said a realtor, and I said, you know what? What about if we look for a what if we do like an IG model baddie realtor? You know, like the ones who will go and like they'll go to take some pictures at a home, and they'll be posing on the island like, look at this island, don't you want to use this island and stuff like that. And they will be like, oh, and Mitch said, oh, look at all the room on this balcony that's overlooking the lake, you know. So then Roxy said that we need to summon Rod Brown. We need a prayer. I don't know why she said that, but they felt that your presence was highly, highly needed here, and here you are. It says, don't ask. It says the rest of the chat is acting up a big time. Help them. We got Magnetar in the building. What's up, my guy, Magnetar? And Max has entered the building. Walgreens is still around. Just barely, Mitch. Oh, you know what happened? The Welcome Journey. Mitch was not in your presentation. He didn't see your presentation talking about how successful Walgreens is right now. Let's see. Rich says that you are sick. What? And the other says the Florida Turnpike. Yes. I live very, very close to the Florida Turnpike. I used to live like right on the Florida Turnpike. But yeah, so that is what it is. It says summonations work. And Rod Brown says you did the right thing. Don't encourage Roxy. My goodness, you guys are terrible. Says Walgreens is a flaming dumpster fire. I mean, they might be doing worse than Zelenskyy. I'm just saying. Did I say that? I'm sorry. And Roxy says we need saving. We do need saving. And Mitch says CVS is better. CVS is doing way better from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, the Welcome Journey, but I think CVS is doing way better because they have their pharmacy and their what is it, like CVS Health. Like they're not doing great, but I think they're doing way better than Walgreens, because that's why Walgreens, every Walgreens that I see one open Walgreens in a wide vicinity of where I live, right? And they used to have a Walgreens on every corner. All right. Anyways, let's continue to Ralph says, I'm literally recording something on repentance. Ralph might need it now. You might be right, Rod Brown. You might be right. But Rod Brown, I saw what you did in your video yesterday. I saw where you froze the frame on your video. I was like, Rod Brown, and you guys, I told this to Rod Brown directly. I said, Rod Brown, look to your neighbor on where you froze the frame, right? Look to your neighbor to your left, say, I ain't right. Look to your neighbor to the right and say, I ain't right. And I was like, you know what? God is still working on Rod Brown, because where he froze the frame to give his final thoughts, I'm like, Rod Brown, you know you're wrong for that. You know you are wrong for doing that, Rod Brown. But it was definitely a nourishing word. It was definitely a nourishing word. The World's Winning Journey says CVS is better than Walgreens and Rite Aid. Rite Aid still exists, I guess, in New Jersey. We used to have a Rite Aid like back in like the 90s down here. It says I was about to ask if you heard of Rite Aid. Most of them are closed. Yeah, I didn't know they still exist. And it says Rod Brown, a timely word apparently. What? Look, you guys are not going to be talking about me like this. I will shut this show down. You guys are not going to be talking about me like this. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, enough of you guys. I'm telling you, oh my God. Rod Brown says, I froze that frame on purpose. You sure you want me to live stream? Yes. The answer is yes. We do want you to live stream. And the one who says, we're all here for the we're getting there. We are working our way towards that. Look. without me, you would be nothing. That was said yesterday. That was without us, you would be nothing. Oh my God. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. Let's get to our next topic of the show for today. We are trending towards look at that. Our last topic is actually we have GDP. Although the GDP does kind of go into the PCE, so maybe we will go with the GDP and then we'll go with GDP and then we'll go into our Oval Office stuff. All right, let's go to over here and we're gonna search for gross domestic product. Drop me in the chat some examples that you of some occupations or careers that you would like to see for gross domestic product. If you guys do not drop anything, I'll figure one out. All right. So it says, so what is GDP? A gross domestic product is like a scorecard for a country's economy. It tells us the total value of everything, all the goods and services produced within a year, within a country in 1 year. Breaking it down, goods are things you can touch and see, like cars, books, toys. So this right here is a good. My phone is a good. What is this? All right, cool. Services are activities that people do for others, like teaching, haircuts, and medical checkups. So my coaching is a service, right? So my phone is a good. My coaching is a service, all right? This bottle of this shot right here is a good, but the person who makes the shot and places it in the bottle is doing a service, right? And a great service is at that, right? So why is GDP important? It says measuring economic health. GDP helps us understand how well a country's economy is doing. When GDP is high, it means people are producing and buying lots of things. When GDP is low, it means the economy might be in trouble and people might be producing and buying less. Comparing countries, GDP allows us to compare the size of and health of different countries' economies. For example, if one country has higher GDP than another, it generally means it has a stronger economy. Government decisions. Governments use GDP to make important decisions. For example, if GDP is growing, they might decide to build more schools and hospitals. If GDP is shrinking, they might look for ways to boost the economy. Business plans. Businesses look at GDP to decide whether to expand or hire more workers or invest in new projects. High GDP usually means good times for businesses, while low GDP can signal tougher times ahead. Look, as DMX said, look, there's nothing but trouble ahead. All right. So let's take a look at our example. Let me see what we have in the chat for our examples. The first one that came in was, let's see, a botanist? I don't really care about a botanist. So Miss Freckles says clothing designer. Mitch says fashion designer. I think that we'll go with Miss Freckles and Mitch's. Wait just a second here. Did Miss Freckles and Mitch just agree on something? Are you guys colluding? Are you guys ambushing this example? Because yesterday, Americans accused the vice president and the president of ambushing and setting up the president of Ukraine in the Oval Office. Let's go ahead and we'll do a clothing fashion designer. Let's do high end. You see that? The Wealth Journey? It's happening. All right. So, how does GDP impact a high-end clothing fashion designer? Consumer spending. When GDP is high, the economy is doing well. People generally have more disposable income. This means customers are more likely to buy luxury items like high-end fashion. If the designer's brand is associated with luxury, an increase in GDP can lead to more sales as consumers feel confident about spending money on expensive clothing, like buying a t-shirt a black t-shirt for $4,000. It could happen. How do you know this black t-shirt doesn't cost $4,000? All right, it doesn't. It costs like, I got a pack of like 3 of them or 4 of them for like $20. All right, so it doesn't cost that much at all. All right, it says a growing GDP often leads to increased demand for various products, including fashion. If the economy is booming, there may be a larger market for exclusive clothing lines. This can encourage the designer to create more collections, hire more staff, and even expand their business. For investment and funding during strong economic periods, high GDP, investors might be more willing to back creative ventures. This means that a higher-end fashion designer might find it easier to get loans or investment capital to launch new projects or store locations. Conversely, if GDP is declining, investors may be hesitant to risk their money, making it harder for designers to get funding. Global market trends. High GDP in one country can also affect international businesses. For example, if the designer is considering expansion into other countries, a robust GDP in those markets can indicate a strong consumer base. Designers can often look at GDP trends in various countries to understand what they might have the best chances for success. And lastly, pricing strategy. With a growing economy, high-end designers can justify their higher prices for their products, as consumers may expect to pay more for luxury items. On the other hand, if GDP is failing, the designer might need to reconsider pricing or offer more accessible lines to appeal to consumers who are tightening their budgets. All right. So that's how a high-end clothing fashion designer would be impacted by the GDP and what they should be looking for. Okay. So let's go and jump into the GDP numbers real quick. Let's see, what do we got? Let's go to GDP. Full schedule. And we are, oh my goodness, we are at here. Let's take a look at this real quick. So real gross domestic product increased at an annual rate of 2.3% in the fourth quarter of 2024, October, November, December. So keep in mind these numbers for October, November, December, the decrease to 2.3 were all under the previous administration. All right. According to the second estimate released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, the third quarter real GDP increased 3.1%. The increase in real GDP in the fourth quarter primarily reflected increases in consumer spending and government spending that were partly offset by a decrease in investment. Imports, which are a subtraction in the calculation of GDP, decreased. For more information, technical notes, real GDP was revised up by 0.1% from the advanced estimates released last month, primarily reflecting upward revision to government spending and exports. They were partly offset by downward revisions to consumer spending and investments. Compared to the third quarter, the deceleration in real GDP in the fourth quarter primarily reflected downturns in investment and exports that were partly offset by an acceleration in consumer spending. Imports turned down. Turned down for what? The price index for gross domestic purchases increased 2.3% in the fourth quarter, revised up by 0.1 percentage points from the previous estimate. The personal consumption expenditure price index, PCE index, I'll probably push that to next week, all right, because I do want to get into this. Increased 2.4%, revised up 0.1 percentage points. Excluding food and energy, the PCE price index increased 2.7%, revised up by 0.2 percentage points. GDP for 2024, real GDP increased 2.8% in 2024 from the 2023 annual levels to the 2024 annual levels, the same as previously estimated. An increase in real GDP in 2024 reflected increases in consumer spending, investment, government spending, and exports. Imports increased. Let's see. The price index for gross domestic product increased 2.4% in 2024, revised up 0.1% and the PCE price index increased 2.5%, the same as the previous estimate. Excluding food and energy prices, the PCE price index increased 2.8%, also the same as the previous estimate. All right. So that is it. Let's go back to full screen, and we can actually can actually start getting into this. I'm going to check the chat, and then we're going to get into this conversation that took place yesterday at the White House. And I am happy to see that Magnetar is here for it as well. Let's see what we got going. All right, so we have, let's see. Max says, CJ, not me. They can have that nonsense. We'll push the botanist out to next week. Wealth building journey. Let's see. Football. What is a football technician? A football technician. What's a football? Is the football technician like the equipment manager? Is that the equipment manager? Let's see. It says, I was eating invisible popcorn watching the White House Showdown. Rod Brown says, Mitch, I am scared. Don't be scared of you. That's why I won't live stream. Yeah. Live streaming is coming with Rod Brown at the Nourishing Word. Stick around for it. Let's see. Mitch is a copycat. Collusion is apparently rampant. Apparently. Says, I can give you the blueprint, but you still can't be me.
They ain't believing us.
And Rod Brown says, it just gets to a point. Oh my goodness. Mitch, you wouldn't believe this. A lot of people that I talk to, right? They just start using your sayings. They'll be like, I'm confused. And they're like, it just gets to a point. And they'll be like, you're sick. I'm like, why is this happening? Let's see. The World Bank says government spending is going to fall off a cliff next month. By falling off a cliff, do you mean it's going to be going up or it's going to be going down? Because falling off a cliff to me would be going down, but you could mean in the sense that it's going to be like out of control. So which way do you mean it, the wealth building journey? I'm curious. Let's see. Well, when he says, I am here for it as well. And Max says, who runs the government again? It's a good question. And the world when says the football technician is the water boy. Let's see. That's what I thought. Let's see. It says, I thought TCR was gonna use the "they not like us" clip. I have no idea what that is. Honestly, I have no idea what the "they are not like us" clip is. So I apologize for that might be why I got that dislike, because I don't know what the "they not like us" clip is. All right, I'm just saying. And the World Building Jury says, Mitch says, "Aw shucks, I am flattered." You should be, Mitch. And the World Building Jury says it's going down. I'm curious to see that, and I personally like government spending going down. Everybody might not agree with government spending going down, but I like it going down. And it says the World Building Jury is like, what is this craziness? And it says, does it know the clip Kendrick Lamar look? I had no idea how Kendrick Lamar looked until the Super Bowl. And when the Super Bowl was performing, I didn't even know that was. I was like, oh, there's some guy performing at the Super Bowl. Let me go and season some steak. That's literally what happened. I do not follow that at all. I don't know anything about Kendrick Lamar. I never heard one of his songs. I just don't care. I'm just being honest. I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest. Did I say something wrong? Is he not just some guy? He's not just, wait just a second here. He's not just some guy? He's to me, he's just some guy. If I was walking down the street and he was coming the opposite direction, I wouldn't know, right? And even if I did, I wouldn't care. I'm sorry. He's just some guy to me. All right. But to be fair, I am from Miami. We don't care. We don't care about people down here like that. All right. It's like, oh, look at this person. Cool. All right. Let's move on. All right. That's good. Maybe where y'all from. I don't know. For me, I'm like, whatever. Okay. let's get to it. Let's get to it. The epic showdown at the White House. And the clip that I have, or the video that I have, it's a full video, so I'm gonna have to jump around with it, all right? But let's go ahead. Let's go over to here. Zelenskyy versus the United States of the Americas. All right. Let me pull up the video. Where are we at? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh my God. Maybe where y'all from? I said it. I'm like, hey, look, here it's busy down here, right? Like, and that's why where y'all from, when a celebrity or an athlete leaves, like when LeBron left Cleveland, you guys burned the city down. You guys burned, like, I don't know how he ever went back to you guys after that. But down here, when LeBron left, we're like, eh. When Wade left, we're like, eh. If we win, if we lose, we're like, eh. Dolphins suck every year. Eh. We don't care. We do not care down here. We're too busy, right? We're too busy to care down here. We're too busy. We're too busy scamming and stuff, right? I'm just saying. All right. Let me not get myself in any more trouble, because Rod Brown is here and he is monitoring me and he is watching me. Roxy's here. She's monitoring and watching me, and I do not want to have any more trouble than I'm already in. So we're going to get started, right? We're going to get started. Let's see. The Mangler says they're approaching the whole furlough stuff again. If you're going to furlough us, then do it. They already lied on us for everything else. Why stop now? All right. Well, you know, I won't even say it. I won't have any commentary on that. Let's go. And I'm gonna have to jump around in this video.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelenskyy of Ukraine, and we've been working very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time, and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries, I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, but soldiers being killed. They're losing thousands of soldiers. On both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard. But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say, until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave. And we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself, in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting. They're great fighters, and you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things, and we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting and we end up with the deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that, and an honor to have you. And please, if you'd like to say something.
No, thanks so much.
So far, looks fine. You know, President Trump does not want a war to keep happening, and that us, U.S., the United States. When I say us, I mean the United States of America, to be putting a bunch of money towards war, right? He wants to see the countries start to rebuild. Fair enough. And he sounds very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not congratulatory, but he's saying like the good job that the soldiers are doing and stuff like that. But he wants the word end. He's been saying he wants the word end for a very long time, right? So fair enough. And he says exactly what he thinks, but he says it in a, to me, seems like a very straight but pleasant way. We want you to want the war to end, right? So that's what I hear so far. I don't think I've seen this response yet of what President Zelenskyy is going to say. So let's watch that part.
So much, Mr. President. Thank you for the invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it with details further during our conversation, and of course, the infrastructure or security guarantees. Because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do, and of course, I want to discuss with you what the United States will be ready to do. And I really count on your strong position to stop Putin. And you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he is a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom, and democracy, and of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories. But it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you help us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you. And we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names, they changed their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. And really, it's a big dream, task and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged, released more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images. How it's can I now?
Yeah, please.
One minute. I just you to understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. That guys, just you before and after. And you see before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there, and that so they don't eat, they beat them, and they do a lot of bad things. So out of even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. These guys, they don't have any rules. You see that, 50, 60 kilograms of that, and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children, because I will share with you. And, I mean, it's looking tragic.
Yep, that's tough stuff.
Yeah, I wanted very much to give you. You see,
yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. At the end of last year, we brought 3 pastors, and we could exchange them. And this is pastor, you see.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, this I wanted to show you, and this. So thank you very much.
We want to get that ended, right?
Yeah, of course, we will.
I think we will. And
we have to, of course.
Do you have any questions, please?
All right, so I hadn't seen this part of it, right? And here's what I see happening, right? The response from President Trump saying, "All right, we want this war to end," right? Now the president of Ukraine says, "Well, we want it to." He says, "We want it to end our way," right? Like, if it's going to end, it has to end the way that we want it to end, not the way that you pretty much want it to end. And that's what I'm getting from this, right? Like, look, he like, honestly, what I'm saying, like, well, we want you to fight with us against, because he's like, oh, the Russians this, Russians that, Russians this, Russians that. Well, you're in a war. You're in a war. Like, okay, fine, you're in a war. Like, but so of course you're not gonna like each other. You're gonna say on your end that they're A, B, C, and D, and they're gonna say on their end that you're A, B, C, and D, right? So that's what I'm seeing so far. That's what I'm breaking down right now as I'm watching this back and forth, right? And you know, shows pictures trying to gain some sympathy and empathy and stuff like that. But it's a war, and I put this in chat. Like, I know there's like rules in war, but in jiu-jitsu, right? We have sports jiu-jitsu where we have rules and stuff like that, and then we have self-defense where there are no rules in self-defense. Like, you got to protect yourself. So talk about the rules all you want, but I don't. There's no rules in war. I know there's legal considerations that countries will put in place, but look, war is war. That's how I see it. War is war. Let me check the chat real quick, and then we will continue, because I think we're about to get to the questions, that's where it gets spicy, right? Wellsman Journey, that's where it gets spicy. Let's see. Wellsman said some guy. Let's see. Let's see the furlough thing. Let's see. Mitch says, me and Ralph sitting next to each other about to fight. Any day, anytime, Mitch. Any day, anytime. I'm like, you just be yapping. What? I do be yapping though. I do be yapping. The Wellbeing Journey says they weren't so much as lying as much as coming up with any legally expedient excuse to fire federal workers. They know the courts could easily overturn and reverse their firing decisions. Let's see. Here for the fireworks. All right, I'm not even gonna go into this. I'm not even gonna go into this because, yeah. Let me just let's focus on this video. Let's see. We got to cut to the chase. We're getting there. Says Monica in the building says the U.S. does not do charity rare earth minerals. Reason why Russia is so focused on Ukraine as well. Well said. Let's see. Let's go to. All right. Let's go. So Mitch says all is fair in love and war. And says what I heard Zelenskyy said was they tried to sign agreements with Russia, but basically Russia didn't hold up their side of the bargain, and he wants some kind of guarantee that Russia won't do that again. I heard that too. Which we'll get to that as well. But what also was said was those guarantees happened before 2016 and were broken after 2020. That's what I heard. So, and you also got to know who you're dealing with, right? When it comes to because as they say, elections have consequences. It all matters who you're actually dealing with and what they put out there, you know? So, but very, very good point. I heard the same thing. Let's see. Magnetar says this country loves blaming low-level people. Let's see. All right, let's continue with the video.
Thank you, Mr. President. With how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of.
All right, let's start to jump around to where the fireworks start to happen. Let me see if I can find it.
Money will be made from the sale. As we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Last week, 2,000 first. I have to make I don't think, we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. And I feel very strong. I've known them for a long time. And I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it. And we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think, we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal. Because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000. And they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but they had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected, because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine, because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do that.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. In the document, there is one of the very important points. If we speak about business and investment, we never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see really good will for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. You use it for LNG, use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe, because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they have our friends, and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No.
I did not see this part. All right. I may not be the most diplomatic person, right? But even I know, there are some times you just shut the hell up, right? When you go to Europe, right, then you can say, oh yeah, you guys gave a lot of support. But if you're asking for us to be on your side, if you're asking for more money, more weapons, shut up. Like, so now you're arguing with the most powerful man in the world, talking about, oh, Europe did so much for us. Europe did so much for us. Magda says, can you replay that last part? Can you replay that? Let me go back a little bit.
For the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military, and it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So it's something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil, we have a lot of gas, we have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for all of the things we do. This puts us in great shape.
And long-term security for Ukraine.
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it. And we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal, because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to. This is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but they had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected, because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine, because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do that.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just...
He didn't have to say anything. Like, I just noticed that part. He didn't have to say anything. He injected himself into wanting to be combative. What's up, J-Lo on the track? Thank you, J-Lo on the track. But he didn't have to say anything. He stopped them and said, "Oh, hold on. I want to throw in my 2 cents." Right? So this, I missed that the first time, but he wanted to put in his 2 cents into this whole ordeal, right? So this is when it starts to go off the rails. The let's go.
Yes, in the document there is one of the very important points if we speak about business and investment. We never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework we see a really good will for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG. Use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they are our friends and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No,
Much less.
You don't do like that is. That was that. You don't do that. Like.
No. Okay.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington. But you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know. But I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been an opening for a president.
Oh,
the first
it's only money.
There's never been a first month.
Shout out to my guy J-Lo on the track again. He became a member and hit me with a super chat. What's up, J-Lo? Let me see what J-Lo is saying. J-Lo on the track is saying, good morning, family. This video was crazy to watch. The clapbacks from Trump's were epic. Oh, it's going down. It is going down. All right, let's continue watching. Let's continue watching.
Like we've had, and this is one of the very important things. This to me is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak, and I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents. Think of whether they're in Russia or Ukraine. Think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would, if I were president, this would have never started. Should have, whether they're in Russia or tremendous death taking place as we speak, and I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents. Think of whether they're in Russia or Ukraine. Think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started.
So, honestly, the part that I started seeing was when JD Vance came in and like he was like, "Oh, can I say something?" Right? But this was building up. Now I understand why JD Vance made his comments about, "Oh, you haven't been thankful" and everything like that, because he's antagonizing right now. Like he's really trying to antagonize President Trump right now. From what I'm seeing, right? He's like, they came into our country. Okay, yeah, we know what happened. We know what happened in 2020, 2021, whatever year that was. We know what happened, but it's just not the time, not the space. That's what I'm seeing right here. But hey, I'm here for it. I am here for it, though. I'm here for it.
This would, if I were president, this would have never started.
Will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah,
the question to President Zelenskyy: do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That the President Trump is on your side at this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's sort of a stupid question. Oh my God. All right. I'm gonna let's watch his response. I'll check the chat and then we'll continue the video.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, And I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that the United States president will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president, speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory. They came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, was really the most important question.
Shout out to the one, the only Miss Freckles as well. Thank you, Miss Freckles, for becoming a tech mercenary. Let's continue.
Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin withdraw these enemies, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history. I think that if President, or when he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
I have a question for you guys in the chat, right? For you guys in the chat. What does it mean, like, when President Zelenskyy says stop Putin? What does that mean to you? What does that outcome look like to you when they say, he's not saying end the
what's this? Oh, it's only money.
Shout out to my guy, the Wealth Building Journey. He says we're gonna keep interrupting the video. Hey. If that's how you're gonna interrupt, then by all means, let's do it. If that's how you want to interrupt, let's do it. But what does it mean to you guys when they say stop Putin, stop Putin, stop Putin? What does that look like to you? What I hear from the current administration is that the war, at least for now, there's a ceasefire. The two sides come together and they negotiate a deal, right? But when President Zelenskyy is saying stop Putin, when all these media networks and all these international geniuses say stop Putin, stop Putin, stop Putin, what does that look like? What does that mean? What is the final outcome of that? That's what I'm curious, right? All right. Let's go. Let me check the chat real quick, and then we will continue with the video. The Wealth Building Journey had said only the strong survive. Monica D in the building says, yes, I heard that. Trump was saying it was every other president that failed him. Now he is here and will stop. And he pointed out during the first term he didn't do anything either. Yep, that's what I heard as well. But elections have consequences, right? It's like, all right, well, if we can wait it out for 4 years and Monica D, something that was very interesting as well, right? We had the Keystone Pipeline. 2016, they gave permission to do the Keystone Pipeline, have the start like whatever it is that they were doing to construct it or have to get gas coming from Canada all the way down to Mexico, like through the different parts of the country. And that was very controversial, but that started working. And then in 2021, they stopped it again, right? And from what I recall, they gave Russia permission to have their pipeline going through, like to do whatever they were doing with their pipeline to go all the way through Europe and stuff like that. So the thing that I don't understand with Europe and with the US and stuff like that is, if you guys hate Russia and Putin so much, why do you guys give them permission to do all this business and make all this money? So that is a question that I have, because I don't understand that part. But that I remember that happening. Do you guys remember that happening? They shut down our pipeline to be energy independent, and they want to allow who they claim to be their enemies to have all this oil, make all this money from oil and stuff like that, right? So that's something I never could understand that, right? Magnus says Iron Man doesn't have suits all over. Doesn't have suits all over. Last time I checked, maybe I missed something about that. Let's see. We replayed it. The World Engineer says now we're getting to the good stuff, and it says and arguing with the most powerful man on earth in his house in front of reporters. Look, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, right? But you have some not even necessarily a friend, right? But let's say it's a friend of a friend who's into this. They got your friend into this pyramid scheme and say, hey, I have a business opportunity to talk to you about, right? And can we come over to your house and talk to you about it? So they come over to your house, and now the pyramid scheme person is like telling you like how much, like they're sitting in your living room, drinking your passion fruit juice, your what's passion fruit juice, eating your snacks, right? And they're telling you, oh, you're an idiot for not joining my pyramid scheme. And they're just like berating you at your house, eating your passion fruit. And then when they leave, they jump into your friend's hoopty to go about their business. I'm like, what is going on here? What is going on here? As my friend Mitch would say, I'm confused. Has that ever, like, cause I've seen that over and over and over again. There was this one guy, we actually went to our neighbor's house for this, right? And he's trying to sell me on this pyramid scheme for traveling. And he's like, don't you like to travel? I'm like, no. And if you guys know me, you guys know I don't like to travel. And I was like, no. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't like to travel. Like, I like to work. I like to work. I told him I like to work. He's wearing some fake leather pants, trying to look all cool and stuff like that. I'm like, what? And it's like, oh, if you pay this much a month, you get to travel. But if you upgrade to this, then you can sell people this pyramid scheme to have them travel as well. I'm like, look, bro, look. I did not know this was going to be happening here. I gotta go. I got work to do. So I'm out. And they're like, you really don't like to travel? I'm like, if it's already hard enough for me to drive to Orlando, about 2.5 hours away, and you want me to go to here, and there. I'm like, look, it is not happening. Anyways. I digress. Let me continue. J-Lo on the track became a member. Shout out to my guy, J-Lo. Let's see. We have Monica D says, think JD Vance was not in on the real deal. He forgot to read the memo. I don't know. Now that I see how this is going back and forth, I understand what the VP's position was. The Weatherman Journey says LNG, liquefied natural gas, highly sought after resource. I mean, if it's that, look, the Weatherman Journey, if it's that highly sought after, we would just take it. All right. Did I say that? All right. I didn't mean it that way. I did, but I didn't mean it that way. We would not just like take it, but we would take it if we really wanted it. We would take it. We get what we want here, right? We get what we want here. I'm just saying. Let's see. Mitch says, but who knows? I might be better. Let's see. Here it comes. We're almost there. We are almost there. Let's see. Magnus says, in their world, have to throw that out there. Just thought I'd point that out. Max, you are really losing me on your commentary. We got Miss Freckles became a member. Shout out to Miss Freckles. We have the Wealth Building Journey with a $2 super chat. Says we're gonna keep interrupting keep it coming. Says to me, I would stop Russia from attacking. To me, I would stop. So I mean, wouldn't a ceasefire technically stop Russia from attacking, at least for a little bit? I mean, even if you don't have everything set in place, if you say, all right, we're going to stop fighting for a month, right? So we can start negotiations. Who wants to negotiate while bullets are flying, right? I mean, let's bring it back home, right? In The Wire, right? Who wants to negotiate while bullets are flying left and right? They even had, don't you remember Sunday was the ceasefire day? Although somebody broke it, fair enough. But Sunday was a ceasefire day. For me, I'm like, all right, let's negotiate. Why fight? Why negotiate while fighting? Okay, my bad. It doesn't delete on my end. My bad. I just saw that. Magnetar. So my bad. It says he likely believes Putin won't stop unless he is well assassinated. Okay, that is what it sounds like to me. I agree. But which country is going to go out there and assassinate the? I mean, it's been done before, but who's going to take that on? Because believe it or not, Russia also has allies. All right. It says, or taking over Ukraine. Let's see. It says the right way. 100% the right way to interrupt. Let me see. Let's see. Truth be told, this is a resource play. I agree with that. It says, don't attack me for this, but is Putin... Oh my God. That is not... Let's not go there, Miss Freckles. Let's not go there, Miss Freckles. But Magna says it depends on who you ask. That's fair. It says no one will attack you. No, they will attack you, Miss Freckles. They will attack you for saying that, for asking that question. Let's see. It says, or is it the position Putin is that makes him the number one enemy? I agree with Magna. It does depend on who you ask. Because honestly, I don't have any feelings towards Putin. I don't have any feelings towards I mean, I didn't have any feelings towards Zelenskyy until yesterday's thing. Because I was like, whoa. I was like, who are you talking to right now? Because guess what? I'll put it like this, right? All that we see happening here, him getting into this argument with President Trump, with JD Vance, he is talking to us that way, right? Because whether you like Trump, whether you don't like Trump, whatever the case may be, right? He is the representative of the United States of America. So by him getting all feisty with us, so that's why I was like, whoa, who are you talking to? That was my, when I saw that was my, I'm like, do you know? I'm like, do you know where you are? $350 billion, javelins. Not sheets, but javelins. And this is what you're, and that's why JD was like, you haven't even said thank you. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, right? We got to cover this. C. Marshall in the building. Good morning, C. Marshall. How are you doing today? No feelings in business. That's the caveat with business. 100% facts. And I will say this in addition to what C. Marshall is saying, right? Is that a lot of people, you guys become friends on the job. You guys become like, oh, this job owes me something. Yeah, they do owe you. They owe you a paycheck. Like, so that's why, like, when all these people are complaining and crying about, the company wants this, the company, you know what? You can always go somewhere else. That has always been my mindset. If I don't like something, it's just business. It is just business. At the end of the day, the company is not, unless I am a shareholder, they are not beholden to me. They are beholden to their shareholders, right? And if I don't like how things are going, then I'm gonna and if I can't work it out with them, then it's just business. And for me, it's business. For them, it's business. I see myself as a business 100%. So if the terms aren't right for me, if the terms aren't right for them, then guess what? We got to go our separate ways. So I 100% agree with you, C. Marshall. Mitch says no lemonade. Let's see. It says I think the same thing sometimes. Look, all I know, by you thinking that, they'll blast you for that. Just by asking that question, they'll blast you for it, right? So for me, I don't care one or the other. Says eating your passion fruit. You know how much sugar is in that What's passion fruit? Says y'all gonna stop using my stuff without paying me. The check is in the mail, Mitch. The check is in the mail. Monica D says those rare earth minerals are used in tech components. That is true, and China has the most of it. U.S. gets that. The U.S. became a power player and no longer strapped to China for this. Monica, I know you like to lurk, right? But you are so appreciated.
I appreciate you.
Whenever you're here, you give so much amazing insight and information. So thank you so much for not lurking today and joining in the conversation. It is truly a blessing. I said it, right? He had on some fake leather pants, right? And he's like thinking he's all cool and stuff, some fake leather pants and these boots, these black boots. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, don't. That's what happened, right? You should be, he's flat. He is flattered, Mr. Circles. He is flattered. And he says, you mean pleather. I guess that's what they call it. Let's see what else. Says no, they wouldn't. I don't know if you deleted this as well. I don't know. Everything shows up here. It says no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They would only just take it if they were in Africa. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. It says to delete that first comment. It says facts. I don't know. I think they'll take it. I think they'll take it. I think they'll take it. We'll just become the 50 after Canada will become the 52nd state. That's all. It says they are still emptying Africa for all it has. At the same time, the corrupt Africans are selling their own people out too. At the same time, well, Ms. Freckles, apparently they've been doing that for like 500 years now. So there's nothing new there. It says don't forget South America. I forgot you can. Yeah. So I gotta find a way around that. I can still see it. Let's see. All right. Lastly, JD Vance took it personal, sticking up for his boy or trying to make himself look good, but they should have left that in the back room. Now Trump's plan for an easy come up is, I don't think so. I think this was the perfect opportunity. And I'll share why. But let's see how much you got. All right. So let me read this last one from J-Lo on the track. Says, I woke up to this stream and surprised you were reviewing this. Hey, I was like, I can't let this one pass by. I cannot let this one pass by, right? Because it was good. And Monica, you know what? I do think that JD Vance took it personal, but guess what? Right? I took it personal because look, everything that I've seen so far, JD Vance has not spoken yet, and I'm getting pissed off by what I see happen, what I see transpiring, and President Trump is being the ultimate businessman. Like he's saying his point, but he's like, I'm sure he's like boiling inside. Like who the does this guy think he is? Coming in with his long sleeve army looking clothes when he's never fought a day in his life, and he's like telling us, oh, Europe has helped just as much as you have, or whatever. So I understand JD Vance. He was speaking for the people. All right. I get it. I get you. All right. Let's continue with the video.
President Zelenskyy just said that there will be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelenskyy is going to have to make? And President Zelenskyy, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises.
Did he really say no compromises? Did he say no compromises? Let's see.
But hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile. To put it mildly, they've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out, and as I've said many times, we're talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker?
Yeah, I saw that. Look at this.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately...
Wait, I was muted. He threw up his hand like, wait, I'm not going to get to answer this question? I'm like, that body language, I don't know.
Ultimately, your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars. And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this was one of the things. I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not That would not have been a good situation. What was your second
And my
question?
second question for President Zelensky: Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest, why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I
the
don't have
dignity of this
such-
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Than, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump.
What an a-hole. I'm sorry. Like, what an a-hole. But anyway, let's keep going.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine, yeah, sure. Hopefully I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stopped shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably. We have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is.
So you guys see, wow. You gotta pay attention to body language. You see, wow. President Trump is talking. Zelensky is shaking his head no, pretty much saying what he's saying right now is B. It's bull. That's the body language. Play it back.
Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe it's done. It's over. They have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Please go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you. You had U.S. Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something the previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away, and you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer. Yes, if I can answer. Sorry. Please.
And I do like your clothing, by the way.
Wealth building journey. I think this is it. I think this is where it's about to happen. Brace yourselves. It is, and thank you, Magnus. Thank you, Miss Freckles, for letting me know that I was muted. I caught that one quick. All right, but wealth building journey. It's about to happen. It's about to go down. All right, so let's get ready for it. Miss Freckles, do you have your popcorn? Miss Freckles?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. I don't know if you two like each other, but you know what? I think
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than answer on side questions. I will answer on more serious questions if I can. Yeah. So please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire. We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken. his own signature. 25 times he broke ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke to me.
No, you were the president.
He
You were
never
the
broke-
president.
he never broke to me.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had during those periods, he had conversations with our side, and we had Normandy format. You know, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia, and he broke it 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe the president is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, you know, he knows that we have, all the world knows that we have meeting, yes? Why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and the president.
Wouldn't the answer be because you haven't signed a ceasefire? I mean, am I slow? Like, they're still fighting because you have not signed and you don't want to sign it. You just said there will be no ceasefire, period. Right? Like, so why are they still sending missiles? Because there is no ceasefire. Maybe I'm slow. Am I missing something? World Building Journey, Miss Freckles, Magnetar. Am I missing it? Monica, am I missing it? Like, there will be no ceasefire. Why is Russia still firing ballistic missiles at us? Because there is no ceasefire. Like, maybe it's me.
President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war, and you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. When we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance, connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial, this is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop. And we'll go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. You know, it's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts. I think maybe with your team also. I don't know. But with all the Europeans, in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you're right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents. It's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
They have to pay this question.
This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay. This is the rule. Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to.
So if you notice as well, he tried to blame President Trump at the beginning. And then he says, oh, yeah, it didn't happen under you, but you were still president at some point. I'm like, okay, it didn't happen. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I caught that.
Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Because I wanted to know.
Wait, one second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and Ukraine, or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
I follow up. One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Yeah. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. As you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, it's a tough neighborhood too. But we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between, why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful. But we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President, please go ahead. About the agreement again today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Vance gave President Zelenskyy the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal.
What was that?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And We ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, why and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelenskyy and Putin?
I don't know, but well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay? They do not like each other. This is not a love match, and it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much. I'm going to be very nice. Run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. And people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
About sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, more than Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people.
So, part of the thing that I understand, right? If you have a ceasefire, right, for a week, for 2 weeks, that just means you stop shooting at each other. It doesn't mean that there's a deal in place. It just means that you just stop shooting at each other so that people can actually speak. There is no talking. There's no negotiating while people are shooting and dying. So that's why I'm like, all right, maybe Russia will break the deal. Maybe they won't. I don't know, right? But all I'm saying is that they're just saying, can we stop shooting? Can we just stop shooting for a little bit? There's been plenty of ceasefire deals in the past that have been broken. They're just saying, can we stop shooting for a week or however long it's supposed to be? So that's the part I'm trying to understand. Like, the negotiation is just to stop shooting, not to end the whole war yet. It's like, all right, if we can stop shooting, then we can actually talk. Have you guys? I know. A lot of people have been in the military, right? But do you know when you go to the shooting range, you have to wear the earpiece, and the gun, and it's still very loud. You cannot hear anything while you're shooting. So that's why I'm like, they just want to stop shooting for a little bit, right? Let's keep going.
So these two sides will be at will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending the line and they have real life and our people are dying. That's why they helped us. And also it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR, you know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be at the Riviera with Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No,
and a lot of things.
Mr. President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online. But we live. Ukraine is fighting, and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So.
Mr. President, one more.
Please, go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin? And what did he say?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and does not engage American demonstrably.
He was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. We thought they took it very, very much too far. JD.
False on such important.
Well, we actually spoke to him about that. Yeah.
particularly as it impacts Americans.
Speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about it?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of theirs, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. These shared
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be...
On the deal, is there another oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all
A little bit. We'll see.
on LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We get a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is
No.
that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you guys spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay, and how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am, I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about, so we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The agreement will protect them.
US
The agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement.
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in response?
I just told you I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder
You
why...
know, you ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such...
I did not hear that part. That was savage. You need to focus on survival for CNN. All right. Damn.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Damn. That was savage. That was savage. Focus on survival. Okay.
Slow ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go.
I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So he occupied it, our parts.
Let me go back to. Let's go back and watch what JD says. All right, what Vice President says.
And I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
So, all right. After watching that part right there, right? I gotta circle back. Right? Monica D, Miss Freckles, everybody else, like, what in that 10 seconds that JD Vance said that was full of testosterone, which was offensive? What did he say that was wrong? Like, I didn't hear him put any blame on Ukraine either. He put the blame on the former president, Joe Biden, right? He says they thumped their chest and wanted to fight, and it's not going well. Let's try to engage in diplomacy. Yeah, I see. I says you haven't gotten into it yet. I see that. But who escalates it? Who escalates it? Right. So because I've seen this, but so far he just said, why are we keep fighting? Let's try to do diplomacy. Let's try to figure something out. Let's try to figure something out. Right. That's what I'm seeing so far. Now. This what happens.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of.
So, from what Zelenskyy just explained, he said they in 2014, Russia took Crimea, right? I remember when that happened, and then he says we signed a deal in 2019. Right, which was he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. 2019 comes, right? Signs a deal in 2019, which is some type of agreement with Russia. And in 2020, 2021, Russia breaks that deal and does whatever they want, and they invade, right? Which it sounds like Zelenskyy is disappointed in the 2020 election results. It sounds like he has some regrets for the 2020 election results, because he sounds like he's saying, you know, you might have been right. We might have still had our country and not been at war if the 2020 election results were just slightly different. I don't know. That's what I heard. All right. Let's get to the fireworks. You guys ready for the fireworks? Let's go.
Diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
And the question of I understand you might have a language barrier, right? But I think everybody knows when you ask the VP, what diplomacy are you talking about? That is some disrespectful type. That to me, that is some disrespectful type stuff right there. You're like, what type of diplomacy are you talking about? Like, look, brother. See, they handled it a lot better than I would have handled it, so I give them credit for that.
You have been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have.
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people in your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it.
I took this as a threat, by the way.
In the future.
You don't know that.
God bless. You're not in the war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no.
He's like, hey, Mitch, that is something you would pull. Mitch, you would pull this move right here. He's like, I'm not telling you what's going to happen. I'm just answering a question. Like, look, you little son of a. He's like, I'm not telling you what's going to happen. I'm just answering a question. I'm like, oh, you son of a.
Position did dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself.
What does it mean to feel influence? So first you said there was an ocean separating us, right? But you will feel it. You will feel it. But then it's like, oh no, I only meant you're going to feel influence. What? What does that mean? What does that even mean?
To be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't.
And that part right there, we're not playing cards. I'm like, you just digging yourself in a deeper hole. We're not playing. Okay.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said.
You see, he waited too long to say, with all respect. He should have said that at the very beginning. Then he could have said whatever he wanted, but he never said with all due respect. He never said respectfully. He never said with all respect. It's all the way at the end. Once they get into the screaming match, he's like, with all respect. Like, no, that was supposed to be at your very first line when talking to Vice President JD Vance. You should have said, with all due respect, Vice President JD Vance. And then you say whatever you want. But you waited till now you're in a shouting match. You can't say in a shouting match. Come on. He should have watched Talladega Nights, right? If you're not first, you're last.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big.
See, you might try to say language barriers. That is some disrespectful stuff. Like wait, okay, what he just did right there was when Skip told Shannon Sharp, put your glasses back on. He said, you think speaking loud, he said, JD, put your glasses back on. He told JD, lower your tone. And JD was not even yelling. Do you think speaking loudly,
Big trouble. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks in this cabinet.
You haven't been alone. We gave you through this stupid president 350.
You've been alone. Okay. If they've been, you know what? I had a relative, right? I had a relative who was living with me, eating my food, drinking my water and my energy drinks, taking long showers, hot showers, not paying anything. And they had the audacity to say, you're not helping me with anything. You're not helping me with anything. Well, you know how we resolve that? You know how we resolve that problem? We're like, well, you gotta go. Now we're really not helping you with anything. I'm just saying.
$50 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yeah.
And I'll tell you this: if you are ever in my house and we're having a conversation, and you do one of these things to what I'm saying, you better go. You don't even wait for me to ask you to leave. All right, you do not. When I'm, if you're in my house and we're speaking and you just swipe me away, it ain't.
How dare you?
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again, just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Except that there are disagreements.
And do you see how he's snapping like, I said a lot of times. And it's like, well, yeah, you said it to the American people, but like you're speaking to the American president right now, and you're getting very, very feisty. You're getting very, very feisty.
And let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go.
I will admit, I be doing that. I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I be doing that. Whenever I'm making fun of somebody, I'm like, oh, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I do that myself, I have to say.
And I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you'd take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets.
How did that? Okay, language barrier or not, that comment is stupid. That's the president you voted for. Okay, the president that we voted for gave you a bad deal. All right, so what? All right, so now you have a new person to deal with. And I don't know. For me, a ceasefire, even if it's broken 100 times, is let's stop fighting for a week. Let's try to figure this out amicably, right? By the way, I learned the word amicably by watching the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which when Kevin Hart and I forgot the name of the guy in the movie, but they were about to fight. Things just got real. All right, and literally things just got real.
And I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to the Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
This was a hilarious answer. This was a hilarious answer.
Well, what if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right, we'll see what we can do about putting it.
All right. Give me a second. Somebody's texting me. All right, so that's it. All right, we went way over time, but this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. Let's go back to full screen, but that's everything. I'm not even gonna go to like the when he got when he got kicked out of the White House. That was crazy. When they said. I was seeing like, so we're getting reports that he got kicked out. He was told to leave. Look, I cannot be president. All right. Anyways, let's read the chat. I'm definitely gonna have to chop this one up. Let's read the chat, and then we'll get out of here because it's been way too long. We still have our Python help session at 1 p.m. today to help anyone who is having trouble with Python for my Patreon members. It's going to be on Google Meet, all that good stuff. All right. Let me see. Ms. Rico says, I went to elementary school with kids that had to flee Kosovo. Monica D says, I think I would have gotten bitter with JD fighting for everything, and this dude asking for thank yous, knowing he has to sign over everything to the U.S. No charity. I don't think so. I think that I think that Zelenskyy is just getting more and more disrespectful as this whole press conference. There, like that. See, what I'm starting to learn that Zelenskyy is not very diplomatic. Because even in the very beginning, he already started talking about like how bad like Russia is and stuff like that. So it just was like it was escalating, and JD didn't say anything that warranted that response from Zelenskyy, but Zelenskyy was looking for that trigger. They don't like each other because during the campaign, JD Vance was like, we shouldn't be in this war. This war shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't be sending all this money over to Ukraine. So I can see why Zelenskyy asked that question. That's probably like one of their first interactions, and so there's been tension there. So he's like, oh, let me get my rocks off, and what is it? FAFO? Is that how it goes? Is that how it goes? Let's see where it says. I know. I hadn't got into it yet, but. It was a precursor. Because what he said there did not warrant that response from Zelenskyy. All he said was, what about if we stop fighting, we start talking? In jiu-jitsu, we're like, we don't like to fight. Like, so how about we stop fighting, we start talking? That was the only thing, and that was the only thing that JD Vance said, and it did not warrant the response that Zelenskyy gave, from my opinion. All right. I keep playing it. Let's see. Mr. says the testosterone levels are rising during the whole meeting with words and body language. If you want to play the blame game, then all parties were talking slick. I don't know, Ms. Freckles. I don't know. I don't agree with you on that. I don't think all parties were talking slick. I think one side continued to escalate it while one side was trying to like, hey, we just want to stop. We just want the fighting to stop. We want the killing to stop. And we're saying, no, we're gonna keep killing until we get exactly what we want. That's what I heard. And guess what, Ms. Freckles? A lot of times.
What's this? Oh it's only money.
Oh my God. Peter Investor with the super chat, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Peter Investor. You are truly, truly appreciated always. All right, let's keep reading. All right, but and I'll say this, right? There's nothing wrong with testosterone. Maybe for women there might be, but for guys, there's nothing wrong with testosterone. There is a lot of like in jiu-jitsu, in martial arts, in running, in every single sport, right? The competition, and I think it was a very, very healthy conversation. That was one of the healthiest conversations I've ever seen played out on TV in politics, right? Let's see. Ms. Freckles says, there cannot be two head of households without tension because one will need to be the top dog. And as we can see, there is only, and you want to know who the head of the household is? The one who does the kicking out. That's the head of the household. The one who says, you got to go. That's the head of the household. JD was also flexing to get respect on his name. I think JD has plenty of respect on his name. I think he just didn't like. I still don't see anything that he said was wrong to lead to the response from Zelenskyy. I think Zelenskyy is trying to get respect on his name, to be honest with you. Which, I can see it's not disrespectful for him to say that he didn't do anything diplomatic. Is it not disrespectful for him to say he didn't do anything diplomatic from someone who has never dealt with what is dealing with? He tried to explain that. I see. The thing is, I don't see don't see like what I saw that JD Vance said was Biden. He says the last administration did not like they were more engaged in fighting than in being diplomatic. I think if what he's saying is correct, if the last administration was to say, hey, we're not like stop fighting, let's talk about it, then that would have happened, because you can only be as empowered as your parents allow you to be empowered, right? So if we're funding them, if we say, all right, we're not gonna give you the money to keep fighting, right? You're gonna have to talk it out. Then, so I just don't see it. Like, I don't see it that way. The World Leader says the language barrier is not helping Zelenskyy. It was not the language barrier. The body, like Ms. Freckles said, the body language was on 10. All right. Here's where, yep, that's where it went south. Magnetar said, this is definitely what not to do in front of cameras. No, I think it is. I think it is what to do, because guess what? If it was not done and here's the problem that I have, right? When it's not done in front of cameras, then you start getting all these news leaks. Oh, President Trump said this and Zelenskyy said that, and even when this did play out on camera, right? They went on the news and they still tried to say, oh, it was an ambush. I saw no ambush. I just saw a lot of disrespect, right? In 40-year-old virgin says you're using big words that I don't know what they mean, so I'm gonna take it as disrespect. That's what Kevin Hart said. I love that line, right? And that's how I feel about you sometimes. You be using these big words. I'm like, this is disrespectful because I don't know what he's talking about. All right. Let's see. Monica Z says the language is big in conversation. The same comments mean different things. Look, language, sure, but when you do this, Monica D, if you were speaking, right, if you're talking to me and you're having a serious conversation, and I just said whatever, right? Is that a language? If I just, because this means whatever, right? That is universal in any language, right? If I'm just like whatever, that's not a language barrier, right? That's just being disrespectful. And he did that to the sitting president of the United States of America, meaning he did that to all of us sitting right here, right, watching this stream. Let's see what else we got. It says this show should have been titled "With All Due Respect." That's a fact. That is a fact. Ms. Freckles says this should be studied across countries in communication classes. 100% agree with that. I noticed you used the phrase "was." When did I use what did I use the phrase "was" to? And it says, "Why would you bring this up on live? They watching you." Look. I told them that to their face. All right. I'll tell them. If I say it on the live stream about somebody that I know personally, that means I have told them to their face that what I think about them. All right, so I'm not gonna be hiding that. It says emotions and testosterone. That is why women should run. Oh my goodness. Max says 2 weeks. Look. When you guys remember, see, I never had a big brother, right? But you guys remember, like, if you had a big brother, and you'd be talking a lot of mess if you knew your big brother would handle it for you. So, you know, you remember Ashley was like, back up, just mind your business, just mind your business. You remember that? That didn't work out too well for her. I'm just saying, that didn't work out too well for her. And when he says, the audacity of, how dare you?
How dare you?
Mm-hmm. And it says, and yeah, that wave is disrespectful. Thank you. You just brushing, like, whatever. Oh my God. Let somebody do that to me. And it says, I'm gonna do it. Ms. Record says, I told you language is more than words, but I don't know if a woman should be running. Oh my God. It says, Monica D, I agree, such as running to the you guys are so bad. You guys are terrible. Yes, Magnetar is just kidding. Magnetar is just kidding. He's a very, very cool guy. And the one when he says Trump called his bluff. Look. Sometimes you just gotta walk away. Sometimes he's like, you know what? Come back when you're a little bit more mature, right? That's what I heard. Let's see. It says mock. He was like I don't want a ceasefire. I do that all the time. You guys see me do that all the time. It says, or at least folks with some level of emotional intelligence. Look, all I'm saying is you got. There's a verse in the Bible, right? It says, what king goes to war without weighing all the consequences, right? I don't think Zelenskyy weighed what was going to happen. He thought, you know what? I'm just going to say whatever I want, and we're still going to sign the deal. And we're like, because there was a part at the end that said, I don't know if he saw it, but he said, if you don't make a deal, we're out. See, so Trump said, I see your threat about, we have this large body of water that separates us, and one day it'll come to you. But he said, I see that comment, and I say, if you don't make a deal, we're out of here. We're out. Boom. And guess what? Not only is that we're out, you're also out of the White House. See you later, right? That's what happened. That's what happened. And it's funny that how these former ambassadors and stuff like that, and they were like, and these Congress people, it's like, oh my God, well, the only person of class in there was Zelenskyy. I was like, what the son of a. Anyways, everything is Obama's fault. Nothing is ever Trump's fault. No, there's plenty of things that's his fault. Just not this one. Just not this case. Let's see. It says, dude is so missed he couldn't hear her question. He's so missed he couldn't. Maybe I can try to delete that too. He said, shifty shift. That's a good one. And we have an appearance from Ferris in the building. Says, all along the USA is part of Russia. Same flag colors. How we didn't see it earlier. Okay. Let's see. Pissed. He said, dude is so pissed he couldn't hear her question. Says, tough guy. Sounds like the scene out of a mafia movie. It did sound like a scene out of a mafia movie. And the one when he says, Zelenskyy overplayed his hands.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Plain and simple. Hashtag FAFO. Hey, that's what they told us. F around and find out. we saw the first public sighting of it. And it says they should have still had their talks outside of the media, and then when the deal was made, then do a conference afterwards of detail of the deal. Why they tried to do it this way. I don't think they tried to do it this way. I think they were just having because they always have these public questions, right? But I think that the tension just started to escalate based on Zelensky's answers, which was what I'm going to say. He just kept escalating because Trump said we want the war to stop. We want to figure out a deal to get the war to stop. And Zelenskyy said right after that, the war is not stopping. That's what he said. There's no deal. The war is not stopping. That could have been taken behind closed doors, but he introduced it into the public. He wanted to be a tough guy. He introduced it into the public. So it's like, all right, well, if this is where you want to do it, let's do it. If you want to have it done right here, right now, in front of the American people, let's do it. And I am, you know what, Monica, I am in agreement that no deal was done, because something about me, I hate fakeness, right? Maybe that's a part of politics, right? I think it was fair to say, you know what? I'm not going to be signing a deal with somebody who's acting like this. What's the word? Petulant? To me, he was being a petulant child. I'm like, I'm not making it. Like, you know what? Just go. Just go. I've told plenty of people, you know what? Just go. It's like when you put in your 2-week resignation, right? And it's like, you know what? It's okay. Just go. That's how I saw it. Shout out to Peter Investor with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Peter Investor. It does make for great television. And guess what? If this did not happen yesterday, what would we be talking about today? We have been on this for like 2 hours now. What would we be talking about today? This was amazing. And I still have, in 15 minutes, I have to do Python help, all that good stuff. All right. Let's see. 100%. Ratings for the White House, rating for these news networks, rating for Tech Coach Ralph.
We the best.
I appreciate it. Let's see. This is The Apprentice.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Ferris says, I mean, in Zelensky's perspective, talking over what? They're trying to take your land and minerals of your country. the deal is a net loss for Ukraine. You know what's also a net loss for Ukraine? Crimea, all the people who are dying, all the ballistic missiles that he's talking about that was happening yesterday that was flying over. All the question was, can we have a ceasefire? That's it. That's all that. I might be missing something, but it's like, can we just stop killing people just for a few days, a week, a month? I don't know, whatever. They got a ceasefire in Israel and Gaza, didn't they? I mean, I think that's all that's being asked for right now. They're trying to jump the gun to get more. I just think they're asking like, hey, can we just stop killing each other just for a minute? Just for a minute. That's what I heard. All right. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Let's see. Zelenskyy left the Oval Office with a. All right. You see now I'm gonna. Lugorp. All right, hold on. I got you both. I'm not even gonna try it. You know what? I see what you're trying to do. Lugubrious. Let me see how that. So it goes lugubrious. Try that one more time. Lugubrious. Looking or sounding sad and dismal. Okay. You know what? I told you this before. Welcome journey. If you're gonna put words I can't say, you got to put it in the super chat. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Countenance. It's as fair as though facts. Says, we gave you weapons, either give us minerals or deal with Russia yourself. Kind of what it sounds like to me. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. And don't be disrespectful in the process, all right? Says, if the U.S. was in the same position, let's be honest, we're not talking a net loss on any deal. Since he's going to do his job, wanting at least getting something decent or better, we should do the same. Look. Guess what? USA, all right? USA. That's all I got to say. All right, let me see. It says, I agree. You can clearly tell no love lost between both of them.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
No, says, my bad. Super chat to make up for it. It says, no love lost between them old white men behaving badly. Hey, it is what it is. It says, Elon won't be happy. No deal means he has to pay more for his parts for his cars. Well, somebody has to lose, Monica. Somebody has to lose in the deal, right? Miss Becker says, I never knew what FAFO meant until today. Well, every day we learn something new. Well, Billy already says, my bad. To make up for the super chat. All right. I got 10 minutes left. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We went way over time, but this was so much fun. We had to do it. This was great. Breaking it down, sharing what I saw from this, and getting your feedback and commentary. It was great. I don't think anybody is like, because this is just our opinions. I don't think anybody is wrong on this. It's just our opinions, and we all have different perspectives based on where we're from, how we grew up, what our politics was. So I think everybody's perspective is totally fair. So all is fair, except for in war, right? Nothing is fair in war, or maybe all is fair in love and war. I don't know, whatever it goes. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Quick announcement on the way out. I'm about to jump in the Google Meet in about 10-ish minutes. We're going to do some Python help. And then tomorrow we are going to be doing DevOps at around 2:30-ish Eastern time. So looking forward to see you there. Take the TBI survey if you haven't done already. Help my cousin out to gather some information on her, to help people with traumatic brain injuries. But that's about it. TechCoachRap.dev if you want to join us for our Patreon, for our Python help session. If you want to join the Team TechCoachRap Discord, all that good stuff. All right. That's about it. You know what? I almost said something very, very bad. Ferris, whenever he comes around, he gets me in trouble. I almost said something very, very bad based on what you just said, but I will not go there. We're over. This is it. TechCoachRap. We are and I'm going to play what Zelenskyy asked when he first walked in as a tough guy. And I will then play what he was listening to on his way out, all right? What he walked into his theme song walking in.
Where is my money? Tell me where. You wanna chit chat, but I don't care. Can't be playing with my cash, no way. This disrespect can't be the play. Why you playing games with my cash? Owe me big, but you're acting rash. Said you pay me back today. Hey, now you're silent like it's all okay. Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. See you styling in your new threads. Spending freely while my wallet's dead. You think I won't come for my green, but I'm not backing down from this scene. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Dusty excuses won't get you far. Up in the club, buying out the bar. Time to face up, you owe a debt. Avoiding me won't let you forget. Ducking calls like a ghost in the night. Running scared, but I'm
What's
ready
this?
to fight.
Oh,
No more
it's only money.
stalling, it's time to pay. Running out on me is not okay. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. To the loot. Everything around me, everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. Dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot, to the loot.
So normally I'll end it on that song, right? But that's what President Zelenskyy walked into, right? He was like, "Where's my where is my money? You gave us 350 billion, but that is not enough. I want some more money, right?" However, when he was asked to leave, he left with this song, right? And by the way, let me just say thank you so much, Roxy. You are always appreciated. You are amazing. You're the best.
We the best. I appreciate you.
But, and this is available, like the single released this morning. It is available on all streaming platforms. But this is how he walked out with as the wealth building journey said,
lugubrious.
With a lugubrious countenance, he walked out with this.
Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stand. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below. Lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. Trying to find my luck. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, should've, coulda, coulda, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter, now just screams, trying to climb back up the wall, but every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this. Reclaim the throne I start to miss. Claim the throne. Right now just lost in despair. Grasping for hope, it's nowhere. Where do I go from here? I can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. I'm lost, trying to find my luck. My luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.